A tree that burns itself from the inside, another one that moves for meters, or even dead bodies in a forest in Japan. Sit back and relax. Today, we show you these things that should alarm you if you see them in a forest. You are in the middle of the Honduran jungle, a stone's throw from Nicaragua, with a friend, and you want to go on an adventure to play Indiana Jones in order to get your hands on the treasures that the mysterious and controversial ruins of the city of the monkey god would contain. But you must have chosen the wrong destination because Mosquitia is a rather hostile place. To summarize, you will find a misty jungle impenetrable because of its very dense vegetation. It is infested with fearsome snakes, fierce predators like jaguars and pumas, and if you are the kind of person who fears mosquito bites, I doubt you will be in any discomfort, since this place is also infested with insects as dangerous as they are harmful, including the phlebotomine, a species of small fly capable of inoculating with a single bite one of the most serious forms of white leprosy, a disease that dissolves flesh and from which there is no cure unless there is a miracle. The worst part is that this hell on earth was once home, according to Amerindian legend, to the remains of a great civilization that has now disappeared, and in particular to the city of the monkey god, where a huge statue of a monkey was erected. According to the legend, this famous god was a bit angry, and therefore all those who dared to venture to the city to find the treasures it contains were struck by his curse. Some would have died there, and others returned empty-handed from their explorations. So you may come out of this jungle, skin and clothes lacerated by its thorny vegetation, perhaps even wounded or bitten by the dangerous species that are there, and without having been able to find any treasure. I can already see that you are turning back, which is a very wise decision. In any case, you don't have anything to do with this treasure. You are in the magnificent biosphere reserve of Sumaco in Ecuador. You have certainly admired the reserve's sumptuous spots, which are home to, among other things, nearly 500 species of birds, 51 species of mammals, 64 species of reptiles, and 6,000 species of plants, among them several centuries-old tree ferns. But I'm sure you've missed the most unusual tree on Earth. Do you want to know which one it is? Follow me, you won't be disappointed. Raise your eyes to the sky and admire this splendor. Here in the middle of this virgin forest live trees as unusual as wonderful, the foot palms. Incredible as it may seem, these trees have the particularity of moving through the forest as the growth of new roots moves them progressively, about 2 or 3 centimeters per day. The scientific explanation is clear. As the soil erodes, the tree grows new long roots that find stronger soil, sometimes up to 20 meters away. Then, very slowly, as the roots settle into the new soil and the tree leans into the new roots, the old ones rise into the air. Put it this way, you think this is a quick process and, well, no, the whole process of moving the tree to a sunnier location and stronger soil can take several years. Traveling for a whole day to get to Quito, doing 15 hours by boat, traveling by mule and on foot on slopes and muddy roads. It clearly can't have been easy, but it was worth it, wasn't it? I'm sure you won't regret doing all that to get to the Sumaco Reserve and see this incredible tree species with your own eyes. You are lying quietly on the grass of your garden when suddenly you notice a colony of small ants swarming near your feet. Among them, a strange-looking ant has caught your attention. You approach it to see what's wrong with it, and you are shocked. This ant looks like it's suffering from martyrdom. In fact, it is. It is suffering from a fungus called cordyceps. This killer parasite manages to take over the insect until it turns into a zombie. This fungus is as scary as it sounds and may even be more dangerous than you think. It has the ability to settle on the insect, attack it, and turn it into a zombie. It takes possession of its host, forcing it to move up, down, around, and anywhere it wants. It can even immobilize it until it gives up the ghost. At this point, the fungus begins to manifest itself by emerging as an exoskeleton from all parts of the ant's corpse. The cordyceps does not infect the brain of the host it is attacking. It takes possession of it, it controls its actions, and makes it lose all room for maneuver while leaving it well aware. And that's very Machiavellian for a little mushroom, don't you think? Why are you running away? Are you afraid of being contaminated? Don't panic. It has been shown that this parasitic fungus cannot infect humans. On the contrary, some doctors recommend its absorption in the form of food supplements or health purposes. You are now more informed about this incredible mushroom. You are now in Japan in Yamanashi for a few days, and you want to visit the famous Aokigahara forest. I warn you, you will enter it with a lot of enthusiasm, but you will leave it with more fear. This forest, which extends on some 35 square kilometers at the base of Mount Fuji, hides terrible things. At first sight, you will see that there is a sumptuous sea of quiet trees in front of you because no fauna lives there. You may feel safe, but when you will advance little by little, you will discover with fright and horror corpses scattered everywhere and strewn on the ground. Real human bodies. Indeed, the forest of Aokigahara is very famous to be the place where people come from the four corners of the country to put an end to their life in all discretion and in the shelter of the glances. And this happens about 50 to 150 times a year. Some bodies are evacuated, others are not because they have been hidden by the vicissitudes of time. It is said that the souls of the deceased are trapped and lost, sometimes angry or vengeful. It gives you a chill. It is there that you leave running without looking back because you had prepared yourself psychologically more to meet fearsome felines than inanimate bodies. You quickly get out of this cursed forest, and you swear to yourself never to set foot in a forest again, no matter where it is. You've already heard of Benin, but you don't know much about the country. Today, I'm going to tell you a good one. I bet you're burning to know what I'm going to tell you about. I warn you, you will not believe your eyes. In Bohikon, a town in Benin, in the middle of the village, hundreds of inhabitants gather around a majestic tree to observe an incredible phenomenon. The trunk of this tree tends to burn by itself from the inside without anyone having approached it or created a flame. As you can see, smoke comes out of the inside of the trunk, which slowly burns down while remaining intact. The most amazing thing is that the tree is still alive, as evidenced by the quality of its leaves, still green and full of life. The inhabitants attribute this inexplicable phenomenon to extraordinary forces caused by wizards or invisible beings. What you have just seen shocks you, doesn't it? Moreover, it has awakened in you the desire to do your own research and to bring a plausible explanation to a phenomenon as paradoxical as it is astonishing. Good luck! You are a big fan of creepy places, dangerous and mysterious forests. You have always dreamed of seeing one for real. Your wish is my command. How about a trip to the Forest of Death? Prepare to fly with me to Russia, where the cursed Katyn Forest is located in Smolensk. If you enter it, you will quickly notice thousands of corpses. These are in fact thousands of Polish soldiers who in 1943, at the height of the Second World War, were executed with a bullet in the back of the head on the orders of Stalin. In addition to this event, there was the tragic plane crash in 2010 in which 96 Polish politicians, soldiers, and businessmen lost their lives. That's it. That was the nail in the coffin. You were horrified and disgusted to see such morbid scenes. How I understand you. But it is not you who wanted that. You are served now. You are a great lover of Quebec and Quebec culture. You have always dreamed of visiting this fabulous country, and more particularly, this magnificent Sacré-Cœur forest that you have heard so much about. But I am sure when you see the following pictures, you will quickly change your mind, because in this Quebec forest, winds are bursting so violently that they make the earth seem to breathe, as you can see in these impressive images, which were filmed on October 16, 2018. You may see the ground lift up under your feet intermittently, giving you the impression that it is breathing. But we did say impression because this curious manifestation is merely an optical illusion. Indeed, this bewitching spectacle is due to very singular meteorological conditions. It occurs when an episode of rain is associated with a windstorm. The soil at the moment becomes like a sponge and becomes saturated with water, which expands the links between the earth and the tree's roots. Under the pressure of the wind blowing through the treetops, the fragile roots will cause the earth to lift and give it that look that it is only found in humans and animals. It will be so impressive that you will certainly be very scared, but you will have a lot of trouble escaping as the ground rises under your feet. You will certainly find yourself trapped in this forest. So, have we changed our minds? Wouldn't you rather go on vacation to Corsica with Grandma? The Philippines is a sumptuous country. You have always dreamed of going there, and it's a good thing. Today, you have put your feet there for the first time. You were offered to go for a walk with a group of tourists, which you accepted without hesitation. But as you were walking, your eyes filled with wonder at the beauty of the landscape. You stopped dead in your tracks and your breathing stopped too. You see a few centimeters away from you, a huge brown beast hanging from a tree branch. You feel the fear running down your back, and your first reflex is to run at high speed to get away from this thing. That's when the expedition leader calls you and reassures you. It is only a giant bat, or commonly known as the flying fox. The Philippine flying fox, also known as the golden crowned fox, is, as you may have noticed, a very rare species of bat, which lives mainly in the Philippines, especially in the Maitum rainforest, in the extreme south of the country. This cave-dwelling animal is able to fly very high. When flying, it has a wingspan of at least 1.5 meters, but at rest, it measures 50 centimeters for a little more than a kilo. The giant bat travels up to 40 kilometers to look for food. Otherwise, the rest of the time, these strange animals live suspended from branches, head down. They stay for a long time in this position, wrapped by their gigantic and vast wings, which provide them protection and other subsidiary functions. In fact, when it is cold, flying foxes are used to cover themselves with their wings, a very effective barrier to conserve heat, and in hot weather, these serve to cool themselves. If the image of their large, sharp claws makes you sweat, I reassure you right away, you are not likely to be attacked by these beasts because they are frugivores and therefore feed only on fruit. Moreover, the ripe fig is their favorite food. As for their claws, they only use them to strip the trees of their bark. You are thus well informed and reassured. Go on your way now. So what do you think about these incredible things found in the forests? Have you ever seen anything as strange as these? Tell us about it in the comments. We can't wait to hear from you. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to get all the notifications and not miss anything from our upcoming content.